over lunch, and as people were registering, I heard people commenting and looking at the program going, oh, wow, is this ever good? And is this ever laid out well? And there's just tremendously positive comments. A program like the one that we're embarking on does not happen, without a lot of hard work by a group of people, an advisory committee. So I would like to acknowledge the advisory committee for this project. So when I say your name, if you could please stand, and then we can save applause to the very end. Leslie Brown from the Ontario Literacy Coalition, who I think she just left. These are the 6 coalition partners that I'm about to read. So Leslie Brown, Anne-Marie Downey from Literacy Nova Scotia, Catherine O'Brien from PEI Alliance, Literacy Alliance, Natasha Bozek from Literacy Coalition of New Brunswick, Louise Quinn from the Quebec English Literacy Alliance, Caroline Vaughn from Literacy Newfoundland and Labrador. There we go. And we have the following community advisors: Joanne Davis, Johanna Falk, Barb Glass, Eric Kilbreth, Karen Krasny, David Montagu, Jim Page, I saw Jim, Linda Showett, and Sylvia Sufi. Thank you all very much for this program. We greatly appreciate the sponsors: Alpha Plus, Centre for Workplace Skills, Colleges Ontario, Local Boards Network, and Owen and Associates. Thank you so very much. Many, many years ago, I worked in Medicine Hat with the Seniors Literacy Program, and there was a 79-year-old widower there, and she had gone back to school because she needed to write her own checks for the first time. And I will never forget, her words have stayed with me to this day, and her words were, "I want to go as far as I can to see how far I can go." And I think over the next course of the days that I hope those words will stay with you too. It is my pleasure now to introduce Tasleem Thawar. She will be our moderator for the conference. Tasleem has more than 10 years of experience working on multi-stakeholder initiatives in the not-for-profit, private and public sectors. She has worked in Canada and internationally on policy development and implementation, and stakeholder consultation and engagement, including the Museum of Immigration and Diversity and the Royal Society of Arts in the UK, the Aga Khan Foundation in Tanzania, Hitachi Limited in Japan, and the AIESEC in the City of Toronto. And I do not know what that stands for, so I put it at the end. Tasleem runs a freelance consulting practice and is also an associate with Consulting Matrix, with whom she has worked on a number of projects with various ministries in the province of Ontario. For the past 3 years, she has co-hosted Leading Better, a series of dialogues that uses conversation as a tool in leadership development. She also volunteers at the Toronto Public Library in their Leading to Reading program. Please welcome your conference moderator, Tasleem.
Thank you very much, Trudy. I am really excited to be your moderator over the course of the conference, and we'll be seeing each other a lot over the next few days. So at this point, I'm going to keep all my stories brief. So as you may know, the theme of this year's conference is becoming agents of change. And so what we're hoping to do over the course of the conference is to explore what it means to be an agent of change. And we have over, as Trudy mentioned, we have over 400 people in the room this afternoon. And that includes literacy practitioners, academics, people from the public and private sectors. And so it's a really rich breeding ground for really great dialogue. And we've included a number of opportunities for this to take place. So in addition to the networking breaks every day, we've also included a facilitated networking discussion tomorrow afternoon, where you'll be able to share your insights, thoughts, and learnings with your colleagues who have similar interests in the same issues that you do. And we're hoping that you'll begin conversations that will continue long after the conference is over. So I have a few housekeeping announcements before we get on with the program for the day. First, registration. If you haven't yet registered, there's a registration desk outside in the lobby, or if you need information or assistance, the desk will be open until 6 p.m. today, from 6:30 a.m. till 6:30 p.m. tomorrow, and then from 7 a.m. till 2 p.m. on Wednesday. Most of you will already have received your registration kits, and in your kit there's an OLC folder which contains information that will be really useful for you over the course of the conference. The most important piece of this is your on-site guide, and that contains a detailed agenda for the course of the conference, including where and when all the sessions will be taking place. You might have also noticed a flash drive in your kit. Now, on the flash drive are a number of the presentations that you'll be seeing over the course of the conference, both plenary. Everybody look. And that includes presentations from the plenary, as well as the workshop presentations, but not all of the presentations are there. So those that you don't find on the flash drive will be available for you to download off the website after the conference is over. Throughout the conference, there will be staff and advisory board members available to help you. You can identify them by their yellow badges. Their badges are marked with a yellow highlight, so if you need any help throughout the course of the conference, please approach them. And there are a number of things happening over the course of the conference that we're really excited to tell you about. First, like all OLC events, we're really keen on getting feedback to track our progress and to get some perspectives on how we're doing. And so to help us, we've got Madeline Lunny and Peter Copping joining us for the duration of the conference. Madeline, Peter, could you stand up so everyone knows who you are? So they'll be dropping in on all the workshops and chatting with you in between sessions just to get a sense of how the conference is going. And more formally, we have a couple of different ways that we're going to be gathering your feedback. So the first is every workshop will be evaluated. There'll be timekeepers at each workshop who will hand out to you evaluation forms, and there'll be time at the end of every workshop for you to fill out these forms and return them to the timekeepers at the workshop. There's also an overall conference evaluation, and that's in your OLC folder. So what we'd like you to do is to fill that out on the last day that you're at the conference and return it to the registration desk. So if you're only attending the conference, even just for one day, we still really want your feedback, and just hand in your conference evaluation to the registration desk. Second, we're documenting the story of the conference in a number of different ways. Both by video, as you'll see, all of the sessions will be video recorded. And there's also an on-site photographer who will be taking photos of not only the sessions and the workshops, but also of the speakers and of participants at work. So the photographer for the conference is Joseph Howarth, who's right over there. And if you do not want your picture taken, please attack Joe during one of the breaks and let him know that you do not want your picture taken, and he will make it happen. What else? A really exciting thing that we're doing this year are poster sessions. And what we did is we asked delegates to set up posters. They're located in the hallway outside on the other side of the Mountbatten room. And these posters share stories of how change is being made already. It could be through a program or through research or through resources. The posters will be available for you to view during all of the networking breaks until Tuesday afternoon. But tomorrow morning, each poster will have someone available to speak about the work, and you'll also be able to ask them questions. Now, finally, as I mentioned earlier, we're really keen to find out your thoughts about the theme of the conference. What kind of change is already happening in the literacy and essential skills field? And what kind of change might we like to see in the future? So we'll be asking a series of questions over the next 3 days so that together we can discover how we might all be able to make a positive change in the field. In your OLC folder, you'll find scratchpad type worksheets, and I think they're pink, blue, and yellow, and with one question for each day of the conference. So today, we want to know about the kind of change that you're making already. How are you an agent of change? Tell us stories about where and how you're making change, whether it's in your workplace, in your home, or in your community. And in addition to jotting these things down, you can also share it with everyone else at the conference. And there's 3 ways for you to do that. The first is we set up a speaker's corner right outside this room in the foyer where you can sign up for a scheduled time. And Wendy Percival of Canned Muffins will be there to videotape your story. So if you have a story about how you've made change, definitely sign up. If you'd rather write things down, we have a graffiti wall also set up in the foyer, but outside the Mountbatten room, where you can jot down your thoughts about the question of the day, or any kind of thoughts you have about the presentations, the speakers, the workshops that you've been attending, or anybody that interesting things that have happened over the course of the conference. And something new this year is you can also share your thoughts through Twitter. And if any of you tweet, the hashtag we'll be using over the course of the conference is Spotlight 2010, so Spotlight 2010. And if you could mention @Ontario Literacy, we'll be sure to read the tweets. We'll also be sending official tweets from @Ontario Literacy. So we will be gathering your feedback and stories from all of these 3 places and sharing them with everybody during the morning plenaries. And you can find all of the information that you need about how to share your stories or share your comments on page 16 of the on-site guide. So last, but still very important, there are 2 sets of restrooms. One set is on this floor, just on the other side of the Mountbatten room, and the other set is on the 3rd floor, in between where all the workshop rooms are. And finally, we would also like to accommodate participants who have allergies to perfumes and scents, so it would be much appreciated if we could have a scent-free conference. Now that the housekeeping is out of the way,